TorahCafe.com.
Believe it or not, we're going to start with an opening exercise this morning. Okay? Everybody, close your eyes. And inhale. Count it 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. 4. Exhale. Okay, open your eyes. We'll get back to that. One of the most distinguishing characteristics of our generation is the search for spirituality. People of all walks of life, of all faiths, and all nationalities are searching, particularly in the Jewish community. When a person thinks of spirituality, or on the topic that we're talking tonight, meditation, usually the picture that they conjure up is someone sitting in a lotus position, or the idea of serenity, or spirituality. But the question is, when you're doing those things, do you know what you're looking for? What is it exactly that you're looking for? When you have those visions in your mind of what it means spirituality, what does it mean meditation? Okay, so you're going to meditate. What is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What are you trying to feel? So, there's many varieties and effects of meditation. Some people just use it as a tool to relax. It's feel an inner soothing feeling. It's a way to beat all the stress of life. But there's a lot of things that are called meditation in the world today, even in a Jewish context, but don't really fit in with traditional Jewish thoughts on meditation. This is a true story. It happened with a very famous non-Jewish person. He wasn't Jewish, but he dressed like a Jew. He had a long black coat and a black hat. He had a beard, looked like a Jew, even had a Jewish name, Abraham Lincoln. It was towards the beginning of the Civil War, and Abraham Lincoln had a meeting with some of his closest advisors and the biggest generals. And he asked them how things were going on the war front. So some generals said, it's going great over here, we need to get in a little bit over here, but overall we're doing great. And then he called on this general, yes, we're doing great on this front. Over here, great on this front. So something didn't seem so right to President Lincoln, and he asked them a question. He said, I'd like you to think about something for a second. If on a horse you call a tail a leg, then how many legs does a horse have? And he left the room and let them think about it. Comes back to the room and goes around the room, asks everybody their conclusion. General, how many legs does a horse have? Well, if you call a tail a leg, 5. Okay, you? 5. 5. Went around the room, everyone said 5. And so President Lincoln said no. It's 4. You call something whatever you want. It doesn't change the essence. It doesn't change what it is. Today, we throw around the term spirituality. We throw around the terms meditation, spirituality, Kabbalah. Just because they have a Jewish name, a Jewish rhyme, a Jewish feel to them, doesn't necessarily make them Jewish or fitting in with what traditional Judaism teaches. So what is meditation? What's it all about? In simple terms, meditation is thinking in a controlled manner, deciding how you want to direct your mind. This is meditation in its most basic form. I've got a question for everybody. Have you ever thought about your thoughts? Seriously. Most people haven't. If you have, you're a little bit deeper already. Most people haven't thought about my thoughts. Thoughts are so much a part of our being, and they're constantly coming through our mind that we don't even think about them. So step one in meditation is stop taking your thoughts for granted. And direct them and focus them, zero in on them. I have another exercise for everybody. Everybody take a second, and when I say go, I want you to stop thinking. Stop thinking of anything. Ready? Go. All right, who's thinking about something already? Everybody. And those who weren't thinking, how many of those are thinking, I'm not thinking, I'm not thinking? Yeah, you got it, right? Exactly. So there's different forms of meditation. Some that are just meant to calm us and whatever. You see them practice them in different yoga schools and classes of hypnosis. But meditation, again, is thinking about your thoughts, is zeroing in on what are you thinking about. We could see from our little exercises that our mind sometimes has a mind of its own. We have the conscious part of the mind. That's the part that we actively and willingly control. Then you have the subconscious mind, which is oftentimes built up of emotional impulses or past experiences that we can't control what we're thinking. It's like this constant background static that disrupts the way that we view things. One of the reasons that breathing is used in the meditative process in many different ways is because that breathing is something usually that you do unconsciously, subconsciously. You don't think about breathing. Breathe, else we all be dead. Breathe now, breathe now, breathe now. So by zeroing in on the breathing, it's kind of like a window to the subconscious. This is why many of the techniques use breathing or controlling the breathing, because that automatically sets the stage that, okay, now we're zeroing in on the subconscious, trying to work with it. If you tell all your criminal friends that breathing is one of the means in which the lie detector test, they can tell if you're lying through your breathing, the way that you're breathing. If you don't control it, then it's just going to react to what you're thinking subconsciously. So meditation is about tuning in. It's about tuning into life. How many of us are really tuned into life? Oftentimes not the case. If you look at a painting, and as you're looking at the painting, all your subconscious thoughts, your day, all the advertisements that you saw, all the people, all the things you need to do, all the static in the back of your mind is, can you really dedicate the appreciation towards that painting? Here's an even more real situation. You're with a friend. You're with a spouse. Can you be actively with them in an intimate way, intellectually and emotionally connected with them, if your mind, your subconscious mind, is busy doing other things? How many times are we talking to a friend and we keep glancing down at the BlackBerry? You know? So rude. We all do it, but it's so rude. You're not in the moment. We're not in the moment. We're letting the static of our life intrude on the moment. I can't direct my thoughts clearly. I'm in the situation. I'm speaking to you. I'm gazing at the painting. The situation is happening, but there's a tremendous amount of static happening at the same time. When I was growing up, I'm sure many of you had one like this. Remember the old 1980s television sets where you had this giant box, and then you had the antennas on top. And in order for the TV to come out somewhat clear, you had to take the antennas and tape it down, and then you had to tie aluminum foil to the thing, take a coat hanger, balance yourself as good as you can, and if you sneeze the wrong way, the whole picture. And even when you would hold it in the perfect position, it was all staticky. So you got to watch the program that you wanted to watch, but you couldn't appreciate it. It was all static. There was all the buzzing noise in the background, and also this is how we live our lives. We're involved in situations. We're involved in relationships. We're involved in spiritual pursuits. But what happens? The static gets in the way. So the goal of meditation, or what meditation is used for, the tool that it's used for, is how we can zero in and direct our mind towards what we want to direct it to. Another practical example is we have parts of our mind. Let's say a certain temptation comes up in our life. There are parts of the mind that tell us, yes, do it. Go for it. You want that. Go now. And then there's other parts of your same brain that say, no, this is morally reprehensible. This is not for you. Stay away. Don't look. Don't go. And it's the same brain. So meditation clears up the static. What meditation does is it arouses our hearts to turn away from our egocentric pursuits and turn towards the one true reality, which is God and spirituality. So the question is like this. In Jewish history, from the Jewish historical perspective, how was meditation viewed? Find out next time.